Beneath every stone, beneath every fossil, beneath every silent layer of Earth's crust lies a question too vast, too dangerous, and too extraordinary to ignore. What if humanity is not the first? For billions of years, Earth has been a restless storyteller. Mountains rise and vanish, oceans form and disappear, and forests bloom only to be consumed by fire and time. Civilizations, even the greatest ones we know, leave scars that fade astonishingly fast on the scale of geology. Rome fell, pyramids eroded, entire cultures left behind little more than dust. Now imagine pushing the clock back, not centuries, not millennia, but tens of millions of years. Imagine a world thriving with an intelligent species, cities glowing under alien stars, towers scraping skies that no human eye would ever witness, technologies beyond our comprehension, only to be erased by the relentless march of time. The soil would close over them. The seas would rise and fall. Continents would shift, grind, and fracture. Their monuments would crumble into dust, their machines into atoms, their history into silence. But would silence be the end? Or would faint echoes remain? Chemical fingerprints in rocks, strange anomalies in ancient sediments, whispers written into Earth itself. This is not a question of science fiction. It is a question whispered by some of the brightest minds in modern science. They call it the Silurian Hypothesis, the possibility that Earth has carried more than one civilization, and that we may not be the first to rise, nor the last to fall. And so we ask, if there were others before us, where are their remains? What traces did they leave behind? And what fate, hidden in their disappearance, might be waiting for us?
The Earth is not a museum. It is a living, breathing engine of change. Continents drift like colossal rafts across molten seas. Mountains rise in violent thrusts, then erode grain by grain until they vanish into the ocean. Entire oceans open and close in cycles that last hundreds of millions of years. And in this ceaseless rhythm of creation and destruction, almost nothing survives. Fossils are rare treasures, preserved only by chance. Human monuments, even the grandest, crumble in mere thousands of years. In a million years, New York, Cairo, or Beijing would be nothing more than dust. In 10 million, not even dust. So if another civilization rose long before us, it would be gone. Almost completely, but almost is the key. In 2018, two NASA scientists put forth a chilling possibility. They called it the Silurian Hypothesis, named after a fictional ancient species from science fiction. Their question was simple. If an advanced civilization had existed on Earth millions of years ago, could we even tell? Their answer, perhaps, but only if we know where to look. The surface of Earth erases, but its deeper layers remember, not with monuments or manuscripts, but with chemical fingerprints, isotopic traces, and strange scars written into stone. Every civilization leaves a signature. Ours is unmistakable. Plastics, pesticides, nuclear isotopes, endless combustion of fossil fuels. Our fingerprint will be etched into the rocks for millions of years. So if a forgotten civilization once thrived long before us, what signs should we expect? Layers of rare metals melted into tiny glassy spheres, just as we find from nuclear explosions. Sudden spikes of carbon isotopes, resembling massive industrial burning, residues of chemicals that nature alone would not produce. And here is the unsettling part. Some of these signatures already exist in Earth's geological record, in rocks over 65 million years old, back to the era when dinosaurs fell. Scientists have discovered microscopic spheres of rare metals. To the untrained eye, they look like dust. But under the microscope, their structure resembles fallout left by modern nuclear weapons. How could this be? One explanation is natural, an asteroid impact, like the one that ended the dinosaurs. But another possibility, however remote, whispers through the data. Could this have been the scar of something artificial? Another place where ghosts might speak is the atmosphere itself. Deep inside layers of ancient ice and sediment, scientists find carbon spikes, moments in time when carbon dioxide levels surged unnaturally fast. Volcanoes can explain some, asteroids too, but others remain mysterious. If a long-lost civilization had burned through its resources just as we are doing now, it might have left behind these very same anomalies. Imagine it. A species reaching its industrial age, pumping gases into the sky, changing the climate, until the Earth reset itself, and them along with it. So far, we have no ruins, no bones, no inscriptions, only whispers. But the whispers are enough to haunt us. Because whether or not such a civilization truly existed, the possibility teaches us something vital. Time erases even greatness. The pyramids, the skyscrapers, are satellites. On a geological scale, they're like writing on the shore, waiting for the next tide. And if we are not careful, our story may be just another layer erased by the endless breath of the Earth. The question that lingers is not only whether they were here before us, but also what happened to them. Did they collapse under their own weight? Did they vanish in fire, in ice, in silence? Or did the Earth itself swallow their memory whole? The answers, if they exist, wait in the stones, in the chemistry of forgotten ages.
If civilizations rose before us, then the Earth itself became their grave. But unlike our cemeteries of stone and memory, this planet buries without mercy. It folds continents, melts mountains, erases oceans, and rewrites itself endlessly. And yet, even the best gravekeepers make mistakes. Earth sometimes leaves fragments, tiny clues that something once was, though it should not be. Scientists studying ancient sediments sometimes stumble upon anomalies, chemical patterns that don't belong, strange surges of gases or isotopes that defy simple explanation. One such anomaly lies buried in strata tens of millions of years old. Sudden bursts of greenhouse gases, lasting not centuries, but thousands of years. Volcanoes? Perhaps. But what if these were the dying breaths of a species that consumed its world until it collapsed? What if their last message is written not in words, but in chemistry? Consider this. If humanity vanished tonight, how long before we disappeared completely? In 100 years, cities would crumble. In 10,000 years, glass and steel would dissolve into dust. In 1,000,000 years, only the faintest scars in stone would remain.
Now stretch the clock to 50 million years. Could anything of us survive? Could anything of them? The terrifying answer is perhaps not, which means the absence of ruins does not prove the absence of civilizations. If Earth has hosted more than one civilization, then the silence of the past becomes a warning for the present. Maybe they reached too far, too fast, burning forests, exhausting oceans, poisoning skies. Maybe they made war with weapons that split atoms, erasing cities in fireballs. Maybe they reached a height of brilliance, only to vanish in a geological blink. If so, their fate is a mirror, a glimpse of where we too might stand one day, ruined, forgotten, erased by the very planet we called home. Earth has always tested life with extinction. Asteroids strike, volcanoes choke the skies, ice ages freeze the seas. If another civilization lived here, they might have faced their own apocalypse, a cosmic bullet from the stars, or a global winter from Earth's fury. Survival may not have been possible no matter their technology. And if that is true, then even the greatest civilizations can be as fragile as a footprint on the shore. So where does that leave us? With questions, endless questions. If others lived here, are we repeating their story? If the Earth erased them, will it erase us? Are we merely the latest attempt in a cycle of rise and fall stretching back millions of years? Perhaps the Earth is a stage, and civilizations are actors who come and go. The curtain always falls, the lights always dim, and the story begins again. The truth may never be revealed. The rocks whisper, the ice records, the chemistry remembers, but only in fragments too faint to be certain. And maybe that is the final lesson, that permanence is an illusion. Civilizations, no matter how powerful, are only guests on this planet. Time buries all. But if we dare to listen closely to the stones, to the silence, to the echoes, we may learn not just about those who might have come before us, but about what will become of us when we too are gone. The mystery remains unsolved. Were we the first, or merely the latest? And as we gaze into the stars, perhaps the more important question is not about the past, but whether humanity can escape the fate that silence has already dealt to those who may have walked this path before.